TT Meets TT Episode 5, the Las Vegas Roadsters. Hi all, Andy here and welcome to Episode 5 of TT Meets TT. This week it's a truly international event as I caught up with Dave from Las Vegas. He currently owns two Avus Silver TT 225 Roadsters. Thought it would be a great story for the channel as he recently had his pride and joy totaled in an accident with a truck. So Dave and I took to WhatsApp for a video tour of Dave's old car and his new car. And here's the best bits from our discussion.
Andy, how are you?
Dave, at long last, how are you?
Got a little wind up here, so I don't know how the sound is going to be.
So Dave, where exactly are you in the US? You're in Nevada somewhere.
Yeah, live in Las Vegas. I got a friend of mine that's got a storage unit in Boulder City, which is just about 15, 20 minutes outside of Las Vegas. And you're out in the mountains. Old car stored here, ready to get worked on or taken apart a bit.
So give us a bit of background behind why you've got two cars.
All right, so there's a car. Here's a new car. I picked this up in Reno a few weeks ago, about 450 miles away. I had one day to do it. I saw it on Craigslist and called the guy. He's asking $6,500 US. And I said, if I could be there tomorrow morning with $6,000 cash, would you take it? And he said, yes. I flew up the next morning with a buddy of mine. And then we made the drive about 400 miles. Took us all day. But she drives beautifully. She had in the last couple of years, they replaced the transmission, the clutch, and they did all the timing belt, the water pump. And I have a feeling, I hope the guy that sold this to me doesn't ever watch this, that they never had an issue. It still reads high temperature on the gauge, and when I tap the gauge, it'll go right back down. So I don't know that it ever did really overheat, but I'm thankful he did the hard work and got it all repaired up. So she runs beautiful. Another car, which kind of looks very similar over here in storage.
Okay. So this is your original car we're looking at now, yeah?
Right. So
yeah.
This one that we're seeing right now, I've had this for the past 6 years. I did all the work myself on it. I watched a bunch of your videos that would help too. Replaced the top so you could see seamless glass. It's just beautiful. It's a Robbins top, one of the best you can get in the U.S. Cost about $800 or $900, and it's about a day's project just trying to get this thing, the old one off and the new one on. So what I'm going to be doing is taking this top the way you show how to do it. Take the whole mechanism, the whole frame off this one.
Yes.
Take the one off the other one, and then put this nice top on that other car that actually runs. Yeah. This one was a beautiful running car up until it got all smushed up. And this is what happens to a TT when a Dodge Ram backs into it at an off-ramp. We don't know why they did it, but she just backed up. I honked. It was over in a millisecond, and it just crunched. I think you could see the condenser, the radiator, got into broke up the fans. And then she bled out on the highway and just had to be towed. So I got a settlement with the insurance. I got to keep this car and enough money to get the other car. So it kind of worked out, except for the fact that, as you know, once you own a TT, you do a lot of work on it yourself. Yeah. And it's just frustrating to put in all the work with the convertible top, fuel pumps. You can see I put silicone.
Yeah, everywhere. See the hoses, all new hoses, yeah.
Yep, the hose that I just did, got from ECS, a new turbo intake pipe, a 034 Motorsports. I replaced the puck connection there. I did the brake booster. I was having a big vacuum issue. And the one thing in our state, each state does cars differently. And in my state, Nevada, all we have to do is get this little sticker every year. And all they're checking for is emissions. That your check engine light's not on, and I couldn't get it off with the vacuum leak till the very end. And just as I fixed everything up, boom, she got crashed and smushed and totaled.
So your yearly check, in the UK we would call that our MOT. So that's where they check the vehicle over, make sure it's safe, make sure the emissions are good, make sure the brakes work. So that must be your equivalent in the US, in Nevada at least.
Yeah, each state does it different, but most every state that I know of, all they do is check emissions. So they're just no engine light, and if you're not polluting much, you get your little sticker and you're good to go for the year. They should do the extensive tests that you guys do, but we don't.
So looking at that engine that you've got there, Dave, so looking at your engine, that is the 225 engine by the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly. They're both
the same.
225 turbo. This one had about 150,000 miles on it, and that one now has about 120,000 miles on it. And I mean, the engines are bulletproof. A lot of little things will go wrong in my experience, but engine can run forever if you take care of it.
Yeah. So your plan to take the hood off your old car that's had the damage, put it on the new car, and is that it? That's all the changes you're doing, or what else do you want to remove from your existing car to put on the new one?
I'm definitely probably the turbo intake, some of the silicone stuff we've got up here. I did a lot of work to the brake booster underneath. I'll probably be pulling this apart and putting all the parts on shelves. I think if I look at the wheels on this one, I think these were the upgraded rims. So I'm trying to decide if I like these better or the ones that are on the car there.
Yeah. So I would say in the UK that the rims that you're looking at there on the new car, that would be our standard 225 rim. That's what you're looking at there. I thought the rims that you're looking at on the other car, I might be wrong, but I thought they were for an older car. Do you know what year both the cars are?
They're both the same. I mean, they came with the car 6 years ago, so they're both 2002s.
Okay.
Audi TT Quattros. They have the TT VIN numbers, so I think they have the same engine. I haven't got down the.
Yeah, so if you look just down there, you can see on that tab if it's a BAM or an 8 or is it an 8?
Yep. So this one's the AMU.
Okay.
And then I'd have to take a look at the other one, but I think it matches up. Yeah,
let's look if it's the same engine, because that would be useful if both the engines are the same, because essentially no matter what's happened to the car, you've got an entirely spare power plant if you ever needed it for the other car.
Yeah, exactly.
So judging by the price of parts and the price of the cars in the US, what's your plan for your old car? Are you going to break it for parts, or what do you see happening to it?
Took it to a shop, and they got up to about 5,000 to 6,000 in repairs to get it going, and they stopped at that point, and the insurance company considered it totaled. And I think there's a little bit of frame damage. It just got hit, not hard, but it got hit by a big truck, and it just little TT against a big Dodge Ram didn't have a chance. So I think I'm just gonna learn more about the car, take it apart, and like you said, have parts forever.
Yeah, exactly. You've got spares warehouse, I'd say, really. So they're both the same colour. They've both got all the same parts. The only thing that you're not going to have a spare of is a hood and a front bumper, or a front fender, as you call it. So that's literally everything else you've got spares of now.
Exactly. I could, I'm even thinking I let engine lift back here. So I've never pulled the engine out of this guy, but that might be an interesting project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe someday rework the engine.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've always thought about, and why I looked to buy the green project car was it would give me the opportunity to take a car apart completely and learn exactly how it works without doing any damage to my cars. So every cloud has a silver lining, as they say. What's the interior like on both cars?
That's another thing. I had done the interior.
Black leather. Wow, yeah, that looks great.
The seats beautifully.
Yeah.
Interior's really, really nice. On the new car, it's still got the original leather, and it's got the normal wear spots where you get the wear on the side here.
Yeah.
And, down there, but conditioned it, cleaned it, and it's not bad. Got my TT owner's manual.
Yeah.
From Haynes, so I know what to do.
Yeah, but those seats in your original look much nicer than the seats. So if you did want to swap those seats over, and I'm sure it's a very simple, easy job, And I do actually cover that on the channel on how to swap seats over, because it's very simple. I think
Yeah, exactly.
you
I
would
watched the
benefit for
channel.
that,
It's
because
basically
they
just
look
get
great.
under, and it's four. I forget the size of it. 4 T
Are they
sockets.
heated seats, Dave? Are they heated? Do you need heated seats in Nevada? I don't imagine you do.
A little bit you do in the winter time at night.
Yeah.
The thing about a desert, hot as anything during the day, and it can't retain the heat at night. So it does get a little cold, but
Yeah.
for the most part, what's really interesting about living out here is you can drive top down with the heater on pretty much any time of the year. It's pretty neat. So even at
I do
night
that in the
during the
UK
winter,
anyway, Dave. Even if it's -6 outside, I'm still got the roof down and the heater's on full. You still got to do it. If you're going to have a soft top, you've got to drive it in all weathers.
Oh yeah, I just wish they were more popular here. I don't think the TT is as well known in the U.S. I've only seen maybe a half dozen other good specimens around Vegas during the time I've lived here. But as you and everyone that watches your channel know, they're just great cars. They're fun to drive. They were little supercars in their day. I think I still, for the original car here, I got the original sticker from 2002, and it was very, just shy of $50,000, which, and now you can pick them up, for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000 in the U.S. Just amazing.
So if you're driving along in a TT in the US and you see another TT, is it quite an unusual sight, and do you wave, or do you sort of acknowledge the other driver, or is it do people not really care?
Yeah, you definitely wave. One time in the parking lot, I saw another one and parked right next to it. I was hoping the person would come out and I'd see their reaction, but it is a rare thing to see one of these. But they're just fun cars.
They are.
But again, your channel, I mean, doing videos and helping other TT owners figure stuff out is a great help, because if you got to take this guy to a mechanic every time, anytime you get a quote on anything, it's almost $2,000 for anything.
Yeah, that's good to know, and I appreciate your comments there. I really do appreciate the feedback, and that's great to hear that I am helping you guys out. So, and anything you come across with your car, obviously do ask me in the comments of the videos, and I'm more than happy to try and help you where I can, or ask someone that can.
Because it's definitely just learning how to do stuff is helpful. It's the labor just kills you on repairs, and in the U.S. at least, sometimes you can get away with getting VW parts, which are almost identical, and they're not as expensive. Like, for example, I did the fuse box up on top. I had mine melt down a couple months ago, and to get a direct replacement Audi one is about $180, and to get a VW one is about $25. And the only difference between the two is this fuse right here. On the Audi, it's a 110. And it was lesser on the other one. So you just go to your auto parts store, replace it, and boom, you've got an Audi fuse box for a fraction of the price.
Yeah, it looks very standard though. Other than the hoses, you've still got the airbox. You've done no N249 delete. It all seems to be pretty standard. Or is that an N249 delete there? I can't see.
No, it was just having to fix stuff up because everything.
Okay. Well, that car, your original car, does look in great condition. I have to say, it's that hood looks great. The bodywork looks great. What's it like from a suspension perspective under the wheels, wheel arches? Can you get the camera under there to show us what it looks like? So you show us the springs and the control arms.
This is the new one.
Because it would be interesting to see an American living in Nevada. I can't imagine you suffer with corrosion. Now look at that. That's so clean. Wow.
And actually, yeah, this came from Reno, and that does snow a bit up there.
Yeah.
But I lived in the East Coast, and after 20 years, this would be just nothing but rust.
Yeah.
If it was an East Coast car. But you're right. Coming from my state, you just don't see rust much. No, and the handling on it, somebody did some work on it, because I was thinking I would have to do the steering arms or at least the bushings. But the steering on this new one is unbelievably tight. And I had previously redone it on my old one. And it's just as good. I don't need to do anything with the steering or suspension for a while. The one thing I did already was the headlights. And I follow your video to the T except for the end. The only thing I do a little different is I painter's plastic over everything, tape everything up, and then I shoot it with a 2K clear coat.
Okay, yeah.
And that should keep it nice and shiny for as long as I own it.
Yeah, that will work. I guess that the 2K clear coat has the same UV properties that the headlight restoration product has, because obviously you need to make sure that they're protected from any future sun damage. Those lights look great anyway on that car. You've done your headlights on the
that's
Audi?
What I'm saying. I just redid them.
You've done?
So they were the typical foggy lights.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they look really shiny, really clear.
Yeah. So I did the sandpaper down, buffed them up, and then just shot them with the 2K, let it dry overnight, and it's a beautiful fix. Because again, I'd love to replace them, but each headlight in the U.S. is about $800 or $900 a piece, which is crazy. So to do what you show in the videos is just a great, inexpensive workaround. It just looks fantastic.
It does look a good car.
If you have a choice, don't let a Dodge Ram back up into your TT though. It doesn't win.
No, it comes a very close second, I think.
It does. It was just the most shot, and it's over in a millisecond. I'm beeping. I can't get into reverse in time, and then she goes. The worst thing is she gets out of her car. She goes, "Oh, I looked in my side view mirrors and I didn't see you."
You could park the TT on sideways behind the Dodge Ram, and it probably still couldn't see you.
And then the person, they have highway people that help clean up accidents. He comes, he goes, "Oh, what happened?" And she goes, "Well, I backed up into him," and his jaw drops, and he goes, "Well, why did you do that?" Then the state trooper comes a few minutes later to write everything up, the accident report, and he goes, "Well, what happened?" She goes, "Well, I backed up into him." And it's an off-ramp off a highway at a stoplight, and his jaw drops, and he goes, "Well, why did you do that?"
Well, your car looks great, Dave, and I think your new project looks just as good, and I think you're going to have a great time swapping all those parts over onto the new car. Dave, I'm going to let you get on with your day now, because I know it's very early in the morning, and you've probably got to go to work today, so thank you very much for being part of TT Meets TT. I'm sure we'll catch up more. Please do keep me up to date on the project. Send me lots of pictures, and we'll see you soon.
All right, absolutely. Good chatting with you, Andy. Have fun.
Thanks for sharing your story, Dave, and best of luck restoring your new car. What really strikes me about these cars in the US is how clean they are around the suspension. There is very little rust and corrosion. In the years to come, I think the US is going to become a bit of a mecca for the enthusiasts looking for pristine and untouched cars. If you like what you've seen today, then please do give this video a thumbs up, and also think about subscribing to my channel, where you'll find a whole host of video content on the Audi TT Mk1. If you too would like to feature your TT on TT Meets TT, then please do get in touch with me at the address on screen now. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care.